Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. I'm your host Jackson Vunganyi with the latest in celebrity news and fashion, sports, film, television from around the world. Let's begin. And from African king to African samurai, Chadwick Boseman is taking a detour from Wakanda to play a true-life role of Japan's first African warrior. Boseman will play as Yasuke, a Mozambican slave who was taken to Japan by Jesuit missionaries in the 16th century and learned how to fight as a samurai for a Japanese warlord. The magazine Deadline reports that the film is being written by Doug Miro, who co-wrote or co-created the Netflix series Narcos. In a statement, Boseman said that the legend of Yasuke is one of the history's best-kept secrets, the only person of non-Asian origin to become a samurai. And that is not just an action movie, it's a cultural event, an exchange, and I'm excited to be part of it, he said. Rihanna's Fenty brand is partnering with the luxury conglomerate behind Givenchy and Dior to launch a collection of high-end jewelry, shoes, sunglasses, and ready-to-wear clothing. This deal makes Rihanna the first black woman to lead a luxury label at LVMH, building on a proven market success of Fenty Beauty, her sportswear collection collaboration with Puma, and her racy lingerie line Savage X Fenty. Rihanna says that the deal allows her a unique opportunity to develop a fashion house in the luxury sector with no artistic limitations. We can't wait to see what Rihanna cooks up, especially that she has expressed interest in African fashion. And there's another powerhouse female performer blending music and fashion. That's Cardi B. She recently released her second collection with Fashion Nova at a star-studded concert and party, live-streamed from the Hollywood Palladium. The Grammy Award-winning rapper launched her 107-piece collection in performances with Blueface, YG, and Young Miami of the City Girls. And TMZ reports that Cardi B's Season 2 collection topped $1 million in sales within the first 24 hours. And one of Tanzania's hottest new models is bringing something special to the runway in an industry that is all about looks. Mickey Deo is bringing attention to a condition that for more than a decade has been robbing his skin of its color. Here's a look.
Mickey Deo is a typical 20-something. He plays basketball and skateboards like other young people in Tanzania. But he's quick to point out his visible difference.
Everyone have unique things. Like me, I have a skin, it is my unique.
Deo's skin began losing color 15 years ago. At first, he was ashamed, but over time, he embraced it.
You know, in Tanzania, there is no anyone like me. So when few people saw me, designers, they chose me because I'm the first one and I'm the only one.
He has a condition called vitiligo, which causes a loss of pigmentation. Model Winnie Harlow helped bring that condition to the mainstream and inspired Deo to push back on the stigma.
Other guys, they have eyes, blue eyes, so we are different. So everyone is unique. So if you want to be like someone, you can't because he's unique.
Fellow models say Deo breaks down the construct of conventional beauty.
He actually brought to the industry a different type of uniqueness, a different type of beauty, and which inspires a lot of people out there who don't think that they can make it to the fashion industry.
Deo works on both sides of the camera, but in front of it, he was recently named Tanzania's top male model at the prestigious Swahili Fashion Week in Central Africa. Arash Arabasadi, VOA News, Washington.
Rapper Curtis Jackson, also known as 50 Cent, will make his directorial debut on the cable drama Power as it enters its final season. 50 Cent is also the co-star and creator of the hit show that has been the most watched show for the cable channel Stars. The show also features actors Omari Hardwick and Naturi Norton and has been averaging 10 million viewers per episode in multi-platform viewing. 50 Cent is up as Steve Harvey is down. The comedian's daytime talk show is being cancelled to make way for a new show from American Idol and Grammy Award-winning singer Kelly Clarkson, Harvey, who many people know for announcing the wrong Miss Universe in 2015, will continue to host the popular game show Family Feud. The television drama Empire will return for a final season with or without the controversial actor Jussie Smollett. He is accused of paying two Nigerian brothers to stage a racist and homophobic attack against himself in Chicago last January. The criminal charges against Smollett were dropped, but his character was written off the end of last season. Fox Entertainment CEO Charlie Collier told entertainment reporters that there is an option to include Smollett in the final series, but at this point, we have no plans for that.
Hey, that's it. No, we're switching roles. I'm bad cop, you're good cop.
No, we're not cops.
In my head, I saw that differently.
A team of superheroes almost lost out to a yellow Pokémon at the box office. Avengers Endgame held on to the #1 spot for a third week in a row with $63 million in US ticket sales, narrowly beating Pokémon Detective Pikachu, which opened with $58 million in sales, the best ever start for a movie based on a video game. The latest Marvel blockbuster is holding strong as its global total approached $2.5 billion, second all-time behind Avatar.
You look like a prince on the outside, but I didn't change anything on the inside. Showtime.
No, I'm in charge, okay? I say when it's time. Really? I thought a princess could go anywhere.
Not this princess.
Do you trust me?
Disney's live-action remake of Aladdin joins the box office contest next week. The new genie Will Smith says that he was nervous about taking on a role made famous by the late comedic genius Robin Williams.
I was really terrified at first. You know, you have to be careful with these types of films that mark people's childhoods. You know, there is a nostalgia to this film, and Robin Williams really created something that was revolutionary, that actors, we didn't even know we could do that in an animated film, the way he created the genie. So for me, I wanted to do it in a way that was an homage to Robin, but at the same time finding my new in, and the music, the hip-hop flavor to the music was the way that I found my into creating a new genie.
Starring alongside Mina Masood as Aladdin and Naomi Scott as Princess Jasmine, Smith says the live-action remake does not disappoint.
The Prince Ali sequence, there's 1,000 extras and dancers in this sequence. There's horses, and it's one of the biggest dance sequences you'll ever see in a movie.
It looks like no one is a bigger Will Smith fan than Brazilian superstar Neymar.
Brother. What's up, man?
Paris Saint-Germain forward met up with the actor in the French capital, Paris, and it was obvious that he was super excited, posting a photo on Instagram alongside the actor. Neymar captioned it, "One of the best days of my life. Nice to see you, my man." At Will Smith, you are the best. The virtual reality documentary Traveling While Black immerses viewers in the so-called Jim Crow era of the 1950s and 60s, when racial segregation was widespread across much of the United States. The film focuses on a landmark Washington, D.C. diner that provided sanctuary for African-American travelers. VOA's Penelope Palu takes us to Ben's Chili Ball.
The Green Book was a guide for African Americans to travel safely, to find shelter, food, and gas in a time when these basic rights were not guaranteed.
In the documentary Traveling While Black, African American patrons at Ben's Chili Bowl reflect on their experiences traveling during the Jim Crow era. One of them is Sandra Butler Truesdale, a native Washingtonian. She relates how blacks had to sit in the back of public buses or the last car of the train and use separate bathrooms, which were rarely available.
The most, I think, difficult thing was the fact that you could not relieve yourself on the train or the bus.
Butler Truesdale remembers coming to Ben's Chili Bowl since she was a girl.
It was a sanctuary. You could meet and talk about politics and talk about legislation and talk about the things that would help as a race.
Traveling While Black executive producer Bonnie Nelson Schwartz says she produced the documentary after staging a theater play on the same topic in Washington 10 years ago. It was called The Green Book. She says audiences reacted viscerally.
And after the play, they began standing up one by one, telling stories about when they traveled in the South during segregation, and their families used the Green Book, about not being able to stop anywhere, about being threatened, never having a meal on the trip, always having to pack a picnic lunch and eat by the roadside.
10 years later, her documentary Traveling While Black is receiving international acclaim, which doesn't surprise her.
I think probably immigration is part of that. It's always people who are not of the community moving in. There is a backlash, obviously, in many cities in Europe to immigration. And so there is friction and there is conflict. And what this film hopes to do is begin a conversation.
Sandra Butler Truesdale says the documentary also sparks conversation on race relations in America's streets today.
It's the same thing now with our young black males. We teach them early on how to behave in case they are arrested or in case they are stopped. For the most part, they are trained early on how they should behave.
The virtual reality film immerses the viewer into the intimate discussions black families are having about race while dining at Ben's Chili Bowl, says producer Stéphane Etui.
You forget about the technology, you forget about having a headset on, and you really feel connecting to the place where you are, this new reality.
Traveling While Black deals with the same era as the Academy Award-winning picture Green Book, which was criticized as whitewashing the black traveling experience during the Jim Crow era. Bonnie Nelson Schwartz has a different take.
The Hollywood film is a personal story. I understand there's a lot of anger, that it is not a fair portrait, but it's one man's portrait based on his book. This experience with this film will begin conversations in museums and in communities all over the country.
Penelope Pulu, VOA News, Washington.
In summer tour news, 21 Savage is setting concert dates across the United States to promote his newly minted gold album, I Am Greater Than I Was. He will be touring with DaBaby in 20 shows that open in Oklahoma City and end in Atlanta. And we leave you this week with a Mother's Day present from Sierra, a self-directed video showing behind-the-scenes footage of her wedding to Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson and the birth of their daughter Sienna. Thanks for watching VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Vunganyi. We'll catch you next week. Goodbye.